This is a follow-up to a video we recorded a few days ago about how Walmart publicly announced that Donald Trump's tariffs are forcing them to raise prices on the American people. Well, Trump panicked about the backlash to this and publicly attacked Walmart, demanding that Walmart eat the tariffs and saying that he'd be watching to make sure that they do. This has gotten so bad that even Fox News is calling Trump out for this, the sort of overreach of the federal government, sort of communist Marxism that Trump and Republicans accuse Democrats of doing, and now Trump is picking up when it's convenient. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, this story has continued to generate twists and turns. You know what Walmart did. Well, here was Trump's reaction. He says Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. Now, it's interesting because here you have the President of the United States advocating for almost like a command economy where the government not only influences the free market, and I thought we were all free market capitalists, right? I thought we were laissez-faire, hands-off, free market, libertarians almost. Like the government shouldn't be involved at all. The government shouldn't even be influencing prices, I've been told, let alone commanding them from on high. Even Fox News is publicly calling out the hypocrisy in very blunt language. See this.
All of this comes after Trump warned Walmart to eat the tariffs, as he put it. That sounds to me like price controls, isn't it?
It is. And the key word that the Secretary of the Treasury put out there was some of the tariffs will be, they'll absorb, i.e. they're going to have to pass them on, as any business would. They got mad at Amazon for saying they'd put on actually on your bill what the tariff component is. Tariff is a sales tax, and that's why the quicker they get this thing out of the way, the better, because it is weighing on decisions, weighing on prices, and by golly, when Christmas comes around and you can't get the doll, that may not be much concern in Washington, but it is concern to people seeing that empty Christmas tree.
So there you have it. Fox News calling this price controls a relic of communism and Marxism. Again, command economies, that the government dictates prices to corporations that they allow in their largesse to exist in the first place. And interesting. Now, the other irony, of course, is that this is the very sort of thing that Republicans claim Democrats attempt to do, and they attack. But when it's politically convenient for Republicans in their flailing, their desperation, they'll use the power of the state to try to browbeat, intimidate, force corporations to do certain things like not pass on the blow to tariffs, or the blow of tariffs, rather, to the consumer, even though that was inevitable. Conservative and liberal economists have been saying this, warning about this for months and months and months and months. Don't do this, because under our system, the corporations, the businesses that import these tariff goods will pass the price on to the consumer. That's how it always works. And Walmart, Walmart says, hey, listen, man, we don't want to piss Trump off. We've been trying to eat the costs, but it's even untenable for us. I mean, it's so hilarious to me that Trump is like these businesses are bending over backwards to accommodate Trump, which is absurd, by the way. Absurd that they fear this loser so much that they're, I mean, my God, I'm just trying to imagine if they would do that for a Democratic president, and I don't think they would. I think they're so uniquely afraid of Trump that they're trying. And yet he's still pushing them to the breaking point. And it's not just Trump. Okay, it's bad enough that it's Trump, but it's also reflected within the Republican Party, the hypocrisy and the situational communism almost, right? So here's Bill Hagerty, a Republican senator, being asked about it on CNBC.
You are a merchant in the United States. Do you pass on the costs or not? You saw what the president had to say yesterday to Walmart.
Well, I think that assumes that tariffs all go up. And in certain circumstances, just use the car example I'll give you, perhaps they come down. But to the extent there is an increase, you've got the producer, you've got the shipper, you've got the middleman, the retailer, and you've got the consumer. All of them may bear some of that, but it's not a certainty to me at all that that's where we're going to head. We could head to lower tariffs around the board.
You think ultimately, no, but I'm saying in the short term right now.
Oh, I understand. In the short term, I think. In
the short term, if Walmart decides that they have to raise their prices, do you think that that's un-American effectively?
I think Walmart's going to have to make its decision, but Walmart has the broadest base of American clients there is, and I think they're going to be very careful about how they do this. I know that they've received some criticism from the president. I think they need to think hard. Also, the president's been, and should, they should know, the president's been working very hard with China to make sure we get this thing addressed as quickly as possible.
Trump was the one who put the tariffs on in the first place. Trump's working, they should know that Trump is working really hard to reduce these tariffs. He was the one who imposed the tariffs in the first place and therefore objectively owns the consequences of the tariffs, the inevitable consequences of the tariffs, which is raise prices on the American people. It's so fascinating. It's stunning to me. These Republican losers will have an aneurysm at the notion of maybe using the power of the federal government to prevent pharmaceutical companies, for example, from increasing the prices of like an EpiPen, right? When it comes to saving people's lives pharmacologically or pharmaceutically, oh my God, and using the power of the government to do it, oh my God, no, we can't do that. That's what Stalin would have done. That's communism. We can't do that. But when Trump slaps a tariff on pretty much everything for no good reason, well, so we have a trade deficit. Well, trade deficits are not inherently bad, dumbass. Then, for a problem that Trump created for no good reason, well, to ameliorate that problem or to accommodate that problem, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's okay for the government to get involved. I mean, these places have to make a choice. At a bare minimum, I think any sane person, this idea that you have to be a full-bore communist, to set that aside, I think any sane person would be like, actually, there are times where it's okay to use the power of the federal government to curb corporate greed. I think if you don't believe that, you're insane, but whatever. Republicans deny that until it's convenient. Is now the time to use the power of the government to bend corporations to your will? Is to make Trump happy? To make it a little bit more politically convenient for Trump to impose tariffs for no damn reason? Again, Bill Hagerty and other people like him will look you dead in the face and be like, listen, if your EpiPen costs a lot of money, if your insulin costs a lot of money, that's really not the federal government's job. I mean, get good, make more money, maybe you should make more money if you really want that EpiPen or if that insulin, you really want it. But yeah, it's okay to use the power of the federal government to keep Walmart from doing what is inevitable with tariffs. It's stunning to me. They have like this impulse. Elected Republican officials from Trump on down are like, you know what? Actually, we should use the power of the federal government in the worst possible way for the worst possible reasons. Stunning shit. It's insane. Here's another clip.
President Trump went on Truth Social and says Walmart should eat the tariffs. In other words, not pass on the prices to consumers. Doesn't that inherently serve as an acknowledgement that tariffs are essentially a tax on consumers? Because initially President Trump said, well, other countries, that's not true. Countries pay for the tariffs. But here we have a perfect example. China gets these tariffs, and then Walmart has to raise its prices, and consumers end up paying for them.
Well, Jake, in essence, what you're saying is taxes are inflationary, so let's pass the Trump tax cuts, and that'll be disinflationary if we continue that line of thinking.
I don't know that you can put me on as endorsing anything, but go ahead.
Let's just keep everything consistent. I did speak to Doug McMillan, who I have a very good relationship, yesterday, just to understand what he had to say. And understand that came from an earnings call. On an earnings call, because of SEC requirements, they have to give the most draconian case. So
it's like he's desperate, man. He's desperate. But Tapper's right. He's like that. Trump gives the game away. He just gave the game away by ordering Walmart to eat the price of his tariffs, which under any other circumstances, under any other administration, or any other Democratic administration, these same Republicans would be like, oh, communism, Marxism, price control. No principle, none. And by the way, if you're a Democratic politician, take notes. Oh my God, what about these Republican objections? They don't care. They will just take the opposite position of whatever you have. If you want to use the power of the federal government to reduce costs for the American people, particularly healthcare costs, that's communism when you do it. when it's politically convenient for them, they'll totally contradict themselves and run full bore towards command economies. Maybe don't let the rhetoric of Republican politicians and their considerations factor into your decision-making calculus at all. Clearly, the American people don't care about how the federal government is used to squeeze corporations as long as it redounds to their benefit. So maybe we should be ruthless in saying, you know what? We don't have a laissez-faire economy. Yeah, we're not going to like nationalize every industry, whatever, but when the government needs to step in for the benefit of the constituency, for the American people, you're damn right we're going to do it. And if Republicans go, no, it's communism, you give them the finger and say, you guys tried to do it after telling us it was communism. Because it's not about principle for you. It's not. It's about power and specific outcomes. It's all it ever is for Republicans. Even the Wall Street Journal is calling them out for it. It's not just Fox. It's the Wall Street Journal, too. Donald Trump plays Walmart CEO. He goes full Kamala Harris in demanding that the retail giant not raise prices. He says, this is the editorial from the editorial board. Which American politician said the following? Item 1. Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as a reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. Again, we read that tweet, so you know the answer to this. Item 2. After causing catastrophic inflation, Comrade Kamala announced that she wants to institute socialist price controls. Her plan is very dangerous because it may sound good politically. This is communist. This is Marxist. This is fascist. If you guess that both statements are by Donald Trump, you've broken the code in the bizarro world of Trump's second-term economic policies. Last year, he blasted Vice President Kamala Harris's proposal for price controls on groceries, but now he's attacking Walmart for warning it will have to raise prices in the wake of Trump's tariffs. Trump's flip-flop on price controls is a rebuttal of his own previous tariff claims. For months, he said that foreign producers pay the full cost of tariffs, but now he's admitting that Walmart, an American retailer, will have to eat some of the costs or pass them on to Americans. Despite his business background, Trump doesn't know much about retail. Walmart's net profit margin is below 3%, so it doesn't have much room to absorb the higher costs caused by tariffs. Retail competition is intense, and Walmart's longtime comparative advantage has been lower prices. Trump is telling a company how to run its business along with a vague implicit threat of retribution. Marxist? How would Trump react if Congress told him how much his family could charge for a Mar-a-Lago fee? Or how much would Republicans react? How do Republicans react if a Democratic president said this? Trump is trying to duck the political fallout for his misguided tariff policy by blaming everyone else. Americans are too smart to fall for it. I hope so. I hope so. I'm telling you, if not, the Democrats should be like, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. We're done with this shit, and we're not going to listen to any elected Republican about anything anymore. They're not principled. It's about outcomes. It's pure cynicism, which governs this particular party. And even Fox News and the Wall Street Journal are calling them out for it. Trump created this mess. He should get the blame. He doesn't get any credit and shouldn't get any credit for partially cleaning it up. And for him to adopt the very strategies, the very tools that he ascribed to his political opponent and condemned, just it's icing on the cake. But again, Republicans do not care about hypocrisy. They say one thing and do another, unlike any Democrat ever. And we also have to remember that as well. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.